At the start of the drama, we see the female lead, Zhou Fang, with her fiancé, Zhe Yang. She is getting her pre-wedding photo shoot done, but Zhe Yang is repeatedly getting calls and he ignores them. So Zhou Fang asks, whose call was it? Then Zhe Yang says, it is a contractor's call. I will talk to him later. But Zhou Fang says, no, you talk to him. Otherwise, he will keep disturbing us repeatedly. On this, Zhe Yang says, oh, what a sensible wife-to-be you are. Saying this, he goes to make the call. Standing aside, he says, hello, honey. I am busy with work right now. An important meeting of mine is going on. On the call, the girl asks, what did you say? Meeting? Are you really in a meeting? Then Zhe Yang says, yes, I am in a meeting. Why do you feel that I am lying? I know you are angry with me, but I will bring a surprise for you. To this, that girl says, turn back. The surprise is in front of you. When he turns back and looks, the girl talking on the call is standing right behind him. Seeing her there, Zhe Yang is stunned. Just then, Zhou Fang arrives and hears both of them talking. Zhe Yang says to that girl, please, baby, you go from here right now. Later, I will explain to you. The girl says angrily, you had said that you are in a meeting. Since when have you been telling me this lie? Seeing this, Zhou Fang asks Zhe Yang, who is this girl? On this, that girl, whose name is Shen Pei, says to Zhou Fang, I am his girlfriend. You tell me, who are you? Hearing this, all the happiness from Zhou Fang's face disappears, and she asks Zhe Yang seriously, tell me, who is she? But he was visibly distressed. He was not able to say anything. Zhou Fang says, give me your phone. She takes the phone from him and calls the number that was calling repeatedly during the photo shoot, and that number belongs to Shen Pei. Seeing this, Zhou Fang understands that Zhe Yang was lying to her and was cheating on her. Therefore, she goes away from there in anger. Zhe Yang tries to stop her, so Zhou Fang slaps him. She was walking on a deserted road, feeling very hurt. Just then, a bike comes from the front and passes very close to her. Due to this, Zhou Fang and that bike person both fall down. Then Zhou Fang gets up, goes to him and asks, hello, mister, wake up. Are you okay? That bike person is the male lead of this drama, whose name is Song Lin. Song Lin says to Zhou Fang somewhat angrily, do you want to die? So she also says in anger, I did not want to die. You were about to kill me? Do you even know at what speed you were riding the bike? So Song Lin says, are you crazy? Who wanders on such an empty road wearing this wedding dress? Now, do you want to blackmail me and marry me? So Zhou Fang says, stop dreaming that I would want to marry you. In this way, an argument happens between both, and then Zhou Fang gets up and starts walking. But Song Lin stops her and says, listen, help me in lifting this bike. So she says, you are a man. Can you not lift it yourself? So Song Lin says, are you blind? Can you not see that my hand is injured? Then Zhou Fang goes and helps in lifting his bike and then walks away. Just then, Song Lin sees that his bike is not starting. Therefore, he starts walking while dragging it. Seeing him walking with her, Zhou Fang asks, now, are you following me? So Song Lin says, why would I follow you? Can you not see? There is only one road here. Should I fly from here and go? While walking, Zhou Fang gets hungry, and Song Lin hears the sound of her stomach. So he says to her, are you hungry? Okay. You help me in pushing my bike. I will feed you. At first, she refuses, but when she sees that she has no other option, she also starts pushing his bike. Then, both go and eat food in a restaurant. After eating, Zhou Fang drinks a little, and when she gets intoxicated, she starts telling her sad story to Song Lin. I gave him my full 5 years. I left my career, my everything, and gave time only to him. When I was with him, I felt that I had found that person who loves me very much. He also used to take great care of me and used to do everything for me. Sometimes I even used to be surprised. How did I get such a good person? I was very excited for my wedding. I designed my wedding dress with my own hands. But on my wedding day, I found out that his affair was going on with someone else, and this had been going on for many years, which I never knew before. Song Lin was just listening to all her words silently. Zhou Fang looks at him and says, are you feeling pity for me? Actually, I should be happy that I found this out now. Otherwise, if our marriage had happened, then perhaps facing all this would have been even more difficult for me. In the end, Song Lin says only this much. It is good that you found out. Now do not drink more and stay happy. Saying this, he goes and books a room, and then he finds out that only one room is vacant in this hotel. He asks, is there any other hotel nearby? So that lady says, no, in this city, there is only this one hotel. Therefore, Song Lin has to share the room with Zhou Fang. When Zhou Fang wakes up in the morning, she starts searching for Song Lin in the room, but she sees that he is sleeping on the sofa outside. When Song Lin wakes up, he knocks on the door and calls Zhou Fang out, and seeing her, he asks a little surprised, what did you do to this dress? So she says, I have designed it. It was very long, right? right? That is why. Zhou Fang is a designer. Therefore, she does all this herself. Then both leave from there. In the next scene, we see that Zhou Fang comes to a bar to enjoy with her best friend, Qin Qing. Some girls and boys are partying there, so Qin Qing says hi to them and goes and sits near them. Zhou Fang asks her, do you know these people? So Qin Qing says, laughing, I do not know anyone. So Zhou Fang says, then how did you get involved in their party? So Qin Qing says, oh, this is how friends are made. Look and learn. Just then, those people start asking both of them, who are you people? Have you come to the wrong room? Now these two do not have any answer and both get a little tense. Just then, one boy among them, whose name is Yu Lin, looks at Qin Qing and says, I know her. She is my friend. Therefore, those people let both of them enjoy the party with them. Then Yulin and Qin Qing introduce each other. Yulin used to wear glasses, therefore Qin Qing names him Four Eyes. Then Zhou Fang tells Qin Qing about Songlin, so Qin Qing starts telling he is the CEO of a big company, and there are such rumors that he is dating an actress, Luna. On the other side, we see Songlin with Luna in a conference meeting. After the meeting, Songlin and Luna leave from there. Luna asks him, do you want to come for a drink with me? But Songlin refuses and leaves. In the next scene, we see Songlin in his company where the assistant tells him, your competitor is making a lot of profit this time because they have launched new designs. On the other side, we see Zhou Fang, who has fallen asleep while drawing new designs. Just then, a person arrives and asks Zhou Fang about Ziyang. So Zhou Fang says to him angrily, he is dead to me. Tell me whatever the work is. I am the boss of this company. On this, he says, I am the landlord of this place and have come to take my rent. I did not get this month's rent and Mr. Ziyang is not receiving my calls. Therefore, I had to come here. So Zhou Fang says, your rent will be received soon. Here. Song Lin is sitting in his company. Just then, his manager brings a jacket in front of him. Song Lin asks, this is our company's design, right? On this, the manager says, yes, but we have not launched this yet. This is still in production. So Song Lin asks, then how did this come to you? So the manager says, someone is copying our designs, but who is doing this? We are not finding out yet. On the other side, we see Zhou Fang, who is sitting in tension in her company because all her employees were leaving and coming to ask for their salary because this company was about to close. Just then, 3 more employees come there. So Zhou Fang, seeing them, says, wait, I will give you your salary right now. But they refuse her, saying, no, we do not want the salary. We have decided that in this situation, we will support you and work only with you. Seeing this, she starts looking at them with great surprise. Those 3 give their introductions. One boy is an IT expert, one girl is a designer, and one is an intern. Hearing this, Zhou Fang becomes emotional and says, okay, we all will work together. The next day, Zhou Fang comes to the lawyer with Qin Qing. The lawyer is explaining to them, look, Ziyang has sold your company, but your signatures were on the company documents. Perhaps he might have taken your signatures by deception, but now you cannot file a case against him. Then we see Yu Lin and Song Lin's company assistant. Both of these work in his company and tell Song Lin the company which is copying your designs is Zhou Fang's company. Therefore, Song Lin also goes to the lawyer and asks to file a case against Zhou Fang. But the lawyer also tells him about Zhou Fang's case. Zhou Fang has no fault in this. That poor girl is having to face this problem because of her fiancé. Then, the lawyer comes and tells Zhou Fang about Song Lin's case. So she says, please fix a meeting for me with Song Lin. I will talk to him and explain everything to him, that there is no fault of mine in this. I did not copy his designs. All this was done by Ziyang. The lawyer gives her Song Lin's number, but on calling, Song Lin does not talk to Zhou Fang at all. Well, therefore, she herself comes to meet Song Lin and says, please do not file a case against my company. There is no fault of mine in this. But Song Lin does not listen to her and says, you have only 2 options. Either everything will be solved in court now, or you tell me the truth. How did you copy our designs? So she says, when I did not copy, then how will I know how this happened? So Song Lin says, okay, then we meet in court. Saying this, he leaves. The next day, Zhou Fang brings back all her clothes from the production company. Those people had ended their contract with her because a case had been filed against her company. Her 3 employees ask, now, what will we do with so many clothes? So Zhou Fang says, we will find those people who want to buy this kind of cloth, and if we do not find such people, then we will sell it online. Just then, one girl among them says, but we do not have any designer. How will we make our designs? Just then, Zhou Fang shows them a sketchbook and says, I have made these designs myself. Her designs were quite good. Seeing this, her employees also become very happy. On another day, Zhou Fang goes to her old client's house to sell clothes, but that person did not want to buy her clothes. Just then, that person's wife comes there screaming and says in anger, "From which fool have you got my clothes designed? I do not like the design at all. I cannot wear this on my anniversary." That person tries to convince his wife, but she is very angry. Just then, Zhou Fang shows one of her designs to his wife and says, "If you want, I can make a dress of this design for you." For this, that lady agrees. Just then, her husband says to Zhou Fang, "If you make my wife happy with your design, then I will buy all your clothes." On the other side, we see Yu Lin, who has come to Qin Qing's house. He says to her, "I like you. Can we date?" At first, Qin Qing acts a bit aloof, but when she sees that Yu Lin has become upset, then she agrees. Yu Lin says, "I will come to meet you tomorrow." Saying this, he leaves. Then we see Zhou Fang, who is making the dress for that lady with a lot of hard work. And when it is completed, she takes it and gives it to that lady, who likes it very much. Zhou Fang also gives a ring with the dress, which was designed by Qin Qing because she is a jewelry designer. That lady asks, "Is this ring free with this dress?" Zhou Fang was about to tell her that it is not free, but just then Qin Qing says, "Yes, it is free." Hearing this, that lady becomes even more happy. After this, Zhou Fang goes to meet a friend of hers who tells her, "I have to go abroad for some work. Until then, can you take care of my son, Cynthia?" So Zhou Fang agrees. Then we see Song Lin. His assistant tells him, "Zhou Fang has paid her fine and has also put some money in your personal account." On this, he asks, "Why?" So the assistant says to him teasingly, "Perhaps there is something personal between both of you." Just then, Song Lin gets a call from someone. Then we see the school scene. There, Cynthia and Song Luo are standing in front of the teacher. Cynthia is the son of that same friend of Zhou Fang who has gone abroad, and Song Luo is Song Lin's younger sister. The teacher is scolding both of them. Just then, Zhou Fang arrives and asks Cynthia a bit nervously, "What happened to you? Tell me. Where are you hurt?" He says, "Not much, just a small scratch." For this, she scolds Song Luo and says to the teacher, "You call her parents." So the teacher says, "I have called her brother." But Zhou Fang says, "Her brother also would be careless like her. You call her parents." Saying this, she starts asking Song Luo repeatedly for her parents' number. Just then, Song Lin arrives and says to Zhou Fang, there is no number for her parents because they have passed away. Zhou Fang is surprised to see Song Lin there. Just then, the teacher tells Song Lin, Song Luo and her friend together have troubled Cynthia. So Song Lin says to his sister, "You say sorry to them." But she leaves in anger. Therefore, Song Lin himself says sorry on her behalf. Then both come out. Zhou Fang says sorry to Song Lin repeatedly for asking about Song Luo's parents and says, "I did not know that her parents were not there." He asks, "Why did you put some money in my personal account?" So Zhou Fang says, "On that day, you helped me on the island. So I returned that same money to you." Then she leaves from there, saying this to him, "You should keep good behavior with your sister." Then we see Yu Lin and Qin Qing. Both have come on a date. Just then, Qin Qing sees Zhe Yang there, who had come to meet his client. Just then, Qin Qing goes there, creates a scene, and tells his client he cheated on his fiancée, he sold her company, and he also stole designs of another company. Seeing this, those clients cancel their contract with Zhe Yang, and then Qin Qing catches him and brings him to Zhou Fang. And then Song Lin also arrives. Song Lin turns on the recording in Zhou Fang's phone and asks her to talk to Zhe Yang. Zhe Yang at first asks for forgiveness from Zhou Fang. "Forgive me." So Zhou Fang says, if you want me to forgive you, then tell me, which are the other companies that are involved in this work with you?" So Zhe Yang says, "There are 2 or 3 more companies with me, but I cannot tell you their names." Zhou Fang asks for their names, but Zhe Yang does not tell, so she starts going from there in anger. Just then, Zhe Yang says while requesting, "Those with whom I have worked together are very powerful people, and if they find out that I have told about them, then they will not leave me alive." Then Zhou Fang comes out, lets Song Lin hear the recording and says, "Now, what to do?" He is not ready to tell the names at all. So he says, "No matter. From this recording, it is known that you are not involved in all this. Now, what will you do further?" So Zhou Fang tells, "I am now going to start a new brand." He says, "Good luck," to her and leaves. In the next scene, we see that Song Lin is sitting and having dinner with his sister. Just then, he gives her concert tickets and says, "I behave a bit too strictly with you. I am sorry, but now I want you to believe in me and share your things with me." So, hearing this, Song Luo becomes happy. Then Song Lin says, "You add me on your social media?" She quickly adds him and then asks, "Will you also go to the concert with me?" On this, he says, "Yes," so she becomes even more happy. Both are ready to go to the concert quickly. Just then, Song Lin gets some important work, due to which Song Luo becomes angry, throws her clothes, and leaves. Song Lin also leaves for his office. After some time, he gets a call from the nanny at home and who tells him, Song Luo has not come home for a long time. Hearing this, he becomes a bit worried and calls Song Luo, but his call does not connect. Therefore, he calls Zhou Fang, tells her the whole situation, and says, "Please, you find out where Song Luo is because I have come out of the city." He tells Zhou Fang the last location of Song Luo and says, "Please, you go there once and see her." Zhou Fang comes to that location and searches for Song Luo, which was a club. Just then, she sees that Song Luo is very intoxicated and a boy is taking her somewhere. Zhou Fang quickly goes to her, handles her, and starts asking that boy his name, due to which he runs away in fear. Song Luo's condition was a bit bad. Therefore, Zhou Fang brings her to the hospital and tells Song Lin about her. In the morning, Song Lin goes to the hospital and takes Song Luo home, but she is still angry with him. Then we see Zhou Fang, who is working in her company. Just then, Song Lin arrives and asks her to go for lunch, but she says, "Right now, I have a lot of work, so I cannot go." Just then, Zhou Fang gets a call from her mom, which she takes on speaker. From the other end, Mom says to Zhou Fang, "Do you even remember? You have to go on a blind date today. If you do not come there today, then I will not let you enter my house." As soon as she hears this, Zhou Fang quickly takes the phone off speaker, but Song Lin had heard the important things anyway. Then, Zhou Fang picks up her purse and leaves. Song Lin also leaves after her. Seeing this, her employees start talking. "Is this handsome man our boss's boyfriend?" Zhou Fang has come on the blind date. Among all the boys who had come there, she does not like any of them. Just then, Song Lin also arrives and gives his introduction. Seeing him here, Zhou Fang starts getting angry at him, so Song Lin says, "Why do you always talk to me in anger? Look, today you have two options. Either you can go for lunch with me and talk to me nicely, or sit here and keep meeting different fools." Saying this, he starts going, so Zhou Fang goes after him and stops him. Zhou Fang's mom is also right there. Seeing both together, Mom feels that perhaps among the blind date boys, she finally liked some boy. These two also do not clear her misunderstanding and come for lunch. There, Song Lin tells her about his sister. "She is very angry with me, and she is not eating anything. So please, you help me in this one more time." There, a person hides and clicks pictures of both. Then Zhou Fang comes with him to his house and says to Song Lin, "You cook for her." And saying this, she goes to convince Song Luo, who was busy making sketches. Zhou Fang says to her, "You should take a little break because you are not making it correctly." But she refuses. So Zhou Fang says, "Okay, then keep making mistakes like this." Saying this, she is about to go, so Song Luo stops her and says, "Okay, tell me, what is the mistake in this?" So Zhou Fang says, "First, let us eat something, then we will discuss this." So she also agrees. Then, all three sit together and eat food. In the next scene, we see that Luna is looking at that same picture which a person had clicked secretly in the cafe. Then she calls Zhou Fang and says, "I am going to a party, but my designer's health suddenly became bad. That is why I am searching for a designer. So, can you help me?" Zhou Fang says, "Yes, I can design the dress for you." Then she asks, "What kind of dress do you want?" and notes everything in a notebook. Then Zhou Fang goes back to her office and starts work on that dress. When Qingqing finds out that she's designing the dress for Luna, she says to her, "There is something wrong in this. Why does she suddenly want to get her dress designed by you?" Look, there is some connection between Luna and Song Lin, but from Song Lin's facial expressions, it seems that he likes you. But Zhou Fang does not believe her words and says, "This absolutely cannot happen at all. Song Luo's birthday was about to come." So Song Lin comes to Zhou Fang to take suggestions on what gift he should give her. After talking about the gift, Zhou Fang asks him, "Do you like me?" He says, "Yes," without thinking for even a second. "Yes, I like you very much." So Zhou Fang says, "Have you gone crazy? You are saying anything." Song Lin says, "I like you, but I am not forcing you to like me too." She says, "You are dating Luna, right? Then how can you like me? Look, become a good boyfriend, otherwise you will lose Luna too." So, Song Lin says, "Luna is not my girlfriend, we are not dating." On this, Zhou Fang says, "Why should I trust you?" So, Song Lin says a bit angrily, "Okay, don't do it," and leaves. In the next scene, we see that Song Lin is in a meeting and is saying, "I have to make a show which people like to see. Therefore, I have decided that I will keep a fashion design show in which designers and celebrities will participate, and because of this, the audience will be attracted to them." Then we see Zhou Fang, whom Luna messages and calls to a hotel room. Zhou Fang goes there, taking the dress of her design. There, along with Luna, Song Lin is also present. When Zhou Fang shows her dress to Luna, she speaks very poorly of her design and insults her in front of Song Lin. Just then, Song Lin says, "If you did not like this dress, then I will design it for you." Saying this, he leaves. Luna also leaves after him. Zhou Fang comes to her office, taking the dress and tells everything to Qingqing. Qingqing says, "I had already said that she is doing all this just to trouble you." Then Song Lin arrives and takes Zhou Fang to a lakeside so that her mood can become okay. Then he explains to her, your designs are not that good yet. You need to do more hard work. On this, she gets angry and she speaks while telling him, your designs are very old-fashioned. It seems you people have not done market research for a long time, and your company's website is even more useless. Saying all this, she leaves. She goes to her office and starts working again on those designs. Just then, Chin Ching gives her an idea. Why don't you sell my jewelry by matching it with your dress? From this, people will like it even more, and both of us will profit. Zhou Fang also likes her idea. The next day, when Zhou Fang is discussing with her employees about how to increase sales, just then an employee gives her an idea. Why don't we participate in a reality show? This will be good for our company. Zhou Fang looks at it on the website and says, Song Company is sponsoring this show. Will we get a chance to participate in this competition? Just then, everyone starts convincing her, we must definitely try. So she applies. Then Zhou Fang has to take an apartment. Therefore, she is talking to a property agent. Just then, Song Lin sees her. Then Zhou Fang comes to talk to Chin Ching. Just then, she gets a call from the agent who tells her of a good apartment, whose rent was also quite low. So, Zhou Fang comes with Chin Ching to see the apartment. Both like it very much. The agent says, you will have to sign a 1-year agreement to live here. If you leave it before that, then a refund will not be given to you. Zhou Fang agrees. Next morning, she takes all her belongings and shifts to that apartment. Just then, we see Song Lin in the apartment in front of her, who is standing there waiting only for her. Later, Zhou Fang finds out that the apartment belongs to Song Lin only. Therefore, she comes to talk to him in anger and says, why did you make a fool of me together with the agent? So Song Lin says, this apartment is in the name of my grandma. So how am I making a fool of you? So Zhou Fang says in anger, return my money to me. I do not want to live here. On this, Song Lin says, did you not read the agreement? In that, it is written that if you leave here before 1 year, then you will not get your money back. She goes from there in anger and Song Lin laughs. Zhou Fang comes home and starts putting curtains on her window, but they are not getting put. So Song Lin calls her and says, there is a remote there. They will close with that. The next day, when Song Lin is working out in the office, just then Yu Lin arrives and says, Zhou Fang has also applied for our show. So Song Lin says, people will be selected according to the rules and criteria we have made. Song Luo and Cynthia were going on a school trip. Song Lin and Zhou Fang arrived to drop them off. Song Lin sees that Zhou Fang has come by cab. So he secretly says to the cab driver, you go from here. So he leaves. And then he goes to Zhou Fang and offers her a lift, but she refuses. So Song Lin asks, are you still angry with me? Zhou Fang says, no, but you go from here. He goes a little far. Just then, his car runs out of fuel. Seeing this, Song Lin becomes a bit worried. You also had to stop now? Just then, Zhou Fang comes to him and, making fun of him, says, look at this rich man. He has such an expensive car, but no gas. Do you not have money to buy gas? No matter. I'll give it. Saying this, she takes out some money and, throwing a coin towards him, says, keep this change. Is this enough? And yes, keep it carefully. Do not lose it. Saying this, she is about to go, so Song Lin shouts from behind, for what thing are you taking revenge on me? Then Song Lin also comes out from his car and starts walking on foot with her. Zhou Fang says, I have booked a taxi. You do it too. So Song Lin says, I do not need it because I have you. Zhou Fang asks, are you going to take a lift from me? If it is so, then first you will have to beg for it from me. He says, why should I beg from you? So Zhou Fang says, with this attitude of yours, I am not going to give you a lift. Just then, she gets a call and finds out that her booking has been canceled. Seeing this, Zhou Fang becomes worried, and Song Lin starts laughing. And then, he calls his assistant to pick him up. Then he says to Zhou Fang, something very bad happened to you, but you do not need to beg to take a lift from me. Saying this, he leaves. In a while, it starts raining, so both come and sit at a safe place. Zhou Fang was feeling very cold, so Song Lin gives her his jacket and holding her makes her close to himself. In the next scene, we see that Zhou Fang's selection had happened in Song Lin's show, therefore she had come taking some of her new designs to show him. Seeing them, Song Lin says, something is missing in these. She asks, what is missing? So Song Lin says to his employee, take Zhou Fang to the East Plant. Hearing this, that employee becomes a bit surprised, but then takes Zhou Fang to the East Plant. There, designs of their company's clothes were prepared. That employee says to Zhou Fang, since our designs have been copied, the security of this plant has been increased. Boss does not give permission to anyone else besides himself to come here. Zhou Fang sees the quality of clothes there, which was much better than her clothes. Also, the way of making them was very unique. Seeing all this, she comes to Song Lin and says, I understood everything. why you sent me there. I feel that I have learned a lot here today. He says, this is a very good thing. Now, start your work and keep giving me updates, because in the upcoming show, designers of very big companies are going to come. You have to compete with them. For this, you will have to work very hard. Then, Jo Fong comes to her office and starts work. Right there, her company's employees are advertising their new clothes in a live broadcast. Jo Fong does not know about the live broadcast. Therefore, after completing her design, she thinks of trying it on by wearing it herself. So she starts changing her clothes. Just then, an employee sees this and immediately comes and stops her. On the other side, we see Song Lin in a meeting where his rival, Yu Shan, is also present. On this project, Song Lin has to work with Yu Shan. On the second day, the first round of competition happens where designers of big companies have come. Everyone makes their design with great hard work. Among them is also Jo Fong, who is doing her work with full focus. Right there, Yu Shan, standing among the judges, liked Jo Fong's design the most. He was repeatedly talking only about her to Song Lin. At the time of the break, Song Lin, Yu Shan, and all judges come to the designers. Among them, Yu Shan comes to Jo Fong and praises her. Seeing this, other designers feel very bad. When everyone's designs are completed and time is over, all designers sit together and start talking. Among them, one designer asks Jo Fong, "Are you close to Yu Shan?" She says, "No, I do not even know him." On this, she says, "Then why did he come to you and talk to you and also praised you?" Just then, a person goes there and tells them, Jo Fong has been selected in this round. Hearing this, other designers again become angry and say in anger, "Everyone knows that we had prepared a better design, yet why was Jo Fang selected? If selection had to happen only according to their personal connection, then why was this competition kept?" They ask, "What connection are you talking about?" That designer, looking towards Jo Fang, says, "This one was not even worthy of coming in this competition." Then, why was she selected? All this is only because of connection. Hearing all this, Jo Fang feels very bad, but she does not say anything. When she comes out, Qin Qing asks her, "Have you passed in this round?" So she tells, "Yes, I passed," but no happiness was visible on her face. Then she asks Song Lin, "Will you tell me the actual feedback?" So he says, "Why? Have you not heard the results?" So Jo Fang says, "I do not have trust in that. I do not think that I was worthy of winning." On this, Song Lin speaks, taking a long breath. "Do you know what kind of people I do not like at all?" She says, "No, you never told me. Could that be me?" Song Lin says, "I do not like those people at all who live on others' praise. If they do not get praise, then they feel that they have not done anything good." Hearing this, Jo Fang says, "You just tell me this. Did Yu Shan make me pass?" So Song Lin says, "No, he did not. But why are you asking all this? Do you want to give up right here so that your haters get this chance? I am not understanding why you are so sad. You have done so much hard work for this. So now complete it. This is your profession. Therefore, keep your focus on your work." With all these things, Jo Fang becomes quite motivated and again starts her work. But in the next round of the competition, she needed a model to present her design. She invites several girls to become her partner, but they all refuse. In the end, Luna calls and says that she is ready to become her partner in this competition. But Jo Fang is having doubts. She asks, "Why did you choose me?" Luna says, "I chose you for this show and for myself. Do you believe this? If I had chosen some famous designer, after that, even if I win this show, then there would be nothing exciting in it. But you are different. You are a new designer. I chose you. There is my own profit in this." Then the second round starts, in which all designers will have to complete their design in the given time and will have to make their celebrity partner wear it. And seeing them only, judges will give votes. After hearing all the rules, all designers sit and start talking and saying they are quite nervous. Jo Fang says, "I am also quite nervous in this round, whether I will get good votes or not." On this, a designer says, "Stop telling lies. You have connections with the judge, right? Then you should not act like you are being eliminated." Saying this, she leaves. Jo Fang becomes very upset, so the other designer tells her, "This is a very popular designer, but still you came first in this round." That is why she is very troubled. In the next scene, we see Song Lin in a restaurant with Qin Qing. She sees a firefighter there who is with his family. Then, Jo Fang makes her next dress inspired by that firefighter's uniform. After a while, Luna arrives, so Jo Fang shows her the draft. Luna says, "I like it very much. I always wanted to wear such a dress." Then when Jo Fang leaves, Luna's assistant says to her, "Why are you flattering Jo Fang so much?" On this, Luna says, "Just keep watching. I have a plan." The next day, Luna tries that dress, so Jo Fang asks her, "Do you have to get some changes done in this?" So she says, "This fits me, but its sleeves are a bit long. It is also a bit loose from my waist." So Jo Fang speaks very lovingly. "Sorry, will you give me this dress to change it right now so that I can fix it quickly?" Luna says, okay. Saying this, she gets up, and as soon as she moves forward, she falls. Jo Fong tries to catch her, and her hand gets a small injury too. Just then, Luna's assistant arrives and shouts at Jo Fong, "What is this you did?" In the next scene, we see those three in the hospital. After a while, Song Lin arrives to see them, so Luna becomes quite happy that Song Lin has come for her. But as soon as Jo Fong leaves, Song Lin also leaves after her. Seeing this, Luna gets very angry. Had he come for me or for Jo Fong? Here, when Song Lin finds out that Jo Fong's hand was injured, he himself treats her. In the next scene, we see that when Luna comes out, all her fans are standing for her, she gets her pictures clicked, and also introduces Jo Fong, on which all fans of Luna are very impressed. She is working for this competition even after being injured so that Jo Fong can win. By doing such, she was spoiling Jo Fong's reputation. And Song Lin, standing right there, was understanding all this. Why Luna suddenly is becoming so good with Jo Fong. Then, when Jo Fong comes home, Song Lin orders dinner and sends it to her house, and after some time arrives himself too and says to Jo Fong, "Do you know who has sent this to you? How can you eat this? There can be poison in it too." She asks, "Did you send this?" So Song Lin says, "Yes." She then asks, "Is there poison in it?" Song Lin says, "No." Then Jo Fong asks, "Have you come to take money for this dinner, or do you also have to eat dinner with me?" Song Lin says, "Do I look so stingy to you that I will take money for this from you?" Jo Fong says, "Okay, you will not take." Song Lin says, "Okay, eat well and sleep quickly." Saying this, he leaves. In the next scene, we see that Jo Fong is sleeping. Just then, Chin Ching calls and says, "Wake up! See the news." Jo Fong says, "What will I do by seeing news so late at night?" So Chin Ching says, "Wake up, and I have messaged you. Check it." She checks her message, and there is news in which it was written that Jo Fong and Song Lin are dating. That is why she got the chance to participate in the show. Due to this reason, Jo Fong has to face even more problems, and at the end, she quits this show. At night, Jo Fong is standing at a lakeside. Just then, Song Lin comes to her and says, "I heard that you have quit your work." So she says, "So, now have you come to show off your work?" Song Lin says, "No, I have come to give you a chance. Now do not miss this." She asks, "Chance for what thing?" So Song Lin says, "For saying sorry to me? For what else? You quit without telling me." So she says sorry and says, "I heard that Luna also has left." So Song Lin says, "Do not worry about her. She does not do anything in which there is her loss." After this, Jo Fong goes on vacation with Chin Ching. There, Song Lin calls, so she says, "I have learned many new skills here, and now I have also learned to dye clothes. And yes, one important thing. Tonight, fireworks are going to happen. Would you like to see them with us?" On this, he says, "Have you gone there to enjoy, or have you gone only to learn something new?" Anyway, if you have gone only to learn, then I have some friends whom I will call. They will help you in learning. On this, Jo Fong says, "Yes, okay." Then, at night, everyone is seeing fireworks. Jo Fong is very happy. Just then, her school friend proposes, but Jo Fong refuses him. So he says, "Have you rejected me because you like Song Lin?" On this, she says, "Yes." Just then, Song Lin arrives, who, holding her from behind, turns her towards himself and kisses her. Then, both come home. At night, Song Lin and Jo Fong go out for a walk. Jo Fong tells him about Cynthia. "My best friend had said that I'd take care of him for 1 year, but now she wants to shift abroad only. Therefore, she has decided that I send Cynthia also abroad." So Song Lin says, "This is a good thing." She says, "I am getting worried for Song Luo." So he says, what is there to be worried about in this?" Jo Fong says, "Cynthia has very many friends, but Song Luo does not make anyone her friend easily. Only Cynthia is a friend of hers, and he also will become far from her." Song Lin says, "You also are her friend, right?" So Jo Fong says, "Yes, I am her friend, but I do not go to school with her. I do not study with her. I cannot play her favorite games." On this, he says, making a joke, "Who said that you cannot go to school with her? You absolutely can go. Anyway, you look just like a child even now." So Jo Fang also says, making a joke, "Yes, so first you start going to school. If you go, then I also will go." Then Song Lin says, "You do not worry about her. After Cynthia's departure, we will take care of her even more nicely." Then after sitting and talking, both start going. Just then, Jo Fang says, "Will you be able to carry me?" So Song Lin says, "Okay, come, let us try." On this, she says, "Oh no, I was just joking." Song Lin says, "Come, let us try once." Saying this, he carries Jo Fong on his back and says, "You are very heavy. I will surely fall." Then while laughing, he takes her away. In the next scene, we see that Song Lin is in a company meeting. Just then, his employees tell him today's news. Designer Joe Fong, who participated in the show, used to copy designs of our company only and sell them in the market. Then, Song Lin's second employee says, "We have just launched our new clothing brand. In such a situation, if the effect of these rumors fell on us, then in the future, we will not get any brand promotion. Our company's image also will be spoiled. Therefore, we should not do any work now with Joe Fong's company, because if we stayed with them, then the blame for stealing designs will start getting put on our brand along with them." On the other side, Joe Fang is also worried because of these rumors as her orders were getting canceled. She calls Song Lin, so he asks, "I am going to investigate this. Who started these rumors? Do you have doubts on any designer among those who had come in the show?" Joe Fang says, "I do not know, but all of them used to feel that I have connections with the judge." Song Lin says, "This is my fault. If I were not with you, then you would not have fallen into these things." So Joe Fong says, "I cannot blame you, because if you were not there, then I would not have improved so quickly." Then Joe Fong goes to meet that designer who did not like her in the show and says, "Can I talk something with you? I will not take much time." But she ignores Joe Fong and starts going. So Joe Fong goes to her and says, "I have not come here to fight. If you keep running from me, then we will not be able to solve this." On this, she says, "I do not want to talk with people like you who copy others' designs." Joe Fang asks, "Do you have any proof of this, that I copied designs? And if there is, then show me." Hearing this, she becomes silent. Joe Fang asks, "Have you only spread those rumors?" On this, she says, "Do not put the blame on me. I have not done anything. Whatever rumors have spread are true. Now, what evidence do you want? You stop troubling me." Saying this, she leaves. Joe Fong thinks, "If you have not done anything, why are you running from me?" Joe Fong comes out. Song Lin has come to take her and says, "I am finding out about the designers who participated in the show. Perhaps among them, someone might have spread these rumors." Joe Fang says, "You do not do all this. I will solve this problem myself." So he says, "Okay, do it. But right now, sit on the bike. I will drop you home." He gives her the helmet and both leave. Due to those rumors, Joe Fong has to face many difficulties. Her contract with Song Lin's company gets canceled. Very many orders get canceled. And reporters' questions trouble her the most. She is in very much stress and says to her 3 employees, "Sorry, I gave all of you much hope from this project. I had told you, people, that I will take your career forward, and now all this happened. You must definitely be disappointed." On this, the lady employee says, "You do not give yourself so much stress. All this is just rumors. We will quickly clear our name. We are not disappointed." Just then, that boy says, "Yes, we all are happy. You also stay happy. Anyway, we all are together, so we will again make everything right, because those people who pass through such difficult situations, they only become the strongest." At night, Song Lin was looking from his balcony near Joe Fang's window. Just then, his sister, Song Luo, arrives and says, "Do you want to go to Joe Fang?" So he says, "No, why would I go to her? I am looking at the dog which is below." So Song Luo asks, "Do you want to get a dog? You can get one if you want. After I leave, it will stay with you. It will give you company." Then she takes out her phone, calls Joe Fang and says, "Are you at home? My brother wants to meet you. He has gone crazy and is planning to get a dog. Please, you help him." Song Lin tries to stop her. "What are you doing all this?" So she says, "Oh, I'm just helping you." In the morning, her mom comes to Joe Fang's house. Just then, Song Lin is on the front window, so Joe Fang says, "You go inside. Otherwise, Mom will see you." Her mom did not like Song Lin because she used to feel that he only had spread those rumors. Joe Fang was repeatedly saying, "You go inside." But he was not listening. So she sends a message. But by the time Song Lin sees it, Mom arrives and sees him and gets very angry at Joe Fang. Then she takes her and comes to Song Lin's house and says, "I have to talk something with you. And if you tell me a lie, then I will not give you permission to meet Joe Fang again." He says, "Okay, I will not tell a lie." On this, Mom asks, "What is your relation with Joe Fang?" At first, he is not able to say anything and keeps looking towards Joe Fang. So Mom says, "Look towards me and talk." On this, he says hesitatingly, "I like Joe Fang and want to make her my girlfriend, but she is not ready for this yet. She really is a very good daughter. She told me, for marriage, she will take permission from her mom and dad." Joe Fang says, "Yes, Mom, we are just neighbors. We are not even friends." Just then, Song Luo comes home and, seeing Mom, says, "Hello, godmother. It felt good to see you." Then she sits near them and says to Song Lin, "Wow, you are very fast. You even met the parents of your future wife. Now, after hearing this, the lies are caught. Mom angrily catches Jo Fang's hand and starts taking her. Song Lin tries to stop them, so she says angrily to Jo Fang, "Jo Fang, you saw that he had said he will not tell a lie, yet he was lying to me without any shame. This man is not perfect for you. Do you want to get cheated again like before?" Then she says to Song Lin, "We are not rich and powerful like you, so please stay away from us." Saying this, she takes Jo Fang away. Then Jo Fang comes with her mom to meet that designer. There, Jo Fang falls asleep, so her mom talks to that designer. And in the morning, that designer tells Jo Fang, "Yes, I only had spread those rumors I was jealous of you, and I did so to take revenge. Anyway, there were many other ways for this. What I did is wrong." So Jo Fang says, "It has been only 1 year for me in this industry, and in this much time, I have learned a lot, but you have been in this for 10 years. You have achieved a lot, and I respect you, that if I have faced so many problems in 1 year, then in 10 years, you also must have faced many problems." On this, that designer asks, "What do you want to say?" Jo Fang says, "Since I was in college, I have been seeing your designs, which I like very much, but your sales have always been low." She says, "Yes, I know this." Jo Fang says, "I feel that we should not stay as each other's rival. If you want, then we can collaborate and together can move forward in this profession." So that designer asks, "Is it possible for collaboration to happen between two designers?" Jo Fang says, "Yes, why not? Our goals are the same. You have good talent, but resources are less. But I have resources. I need more experience yet. So, are you ready to become my partner?" On this, that designer asks, "Are you doing so to get out from the matter of design theft? Because if our collaboration happened, then this matter will be solved." So, Jo Fang says, "The blame of copying Song Lin's designs was put on me, and now we are working with them. That is why this thing is being highlighted more. But if we work with you, then people will forget this." Then Jo Fang says, "Whenever you feel this proposal of mine is okay, tell me by calling." Saying this, she is about to go. Just then, that designer stops her, shows a draft, and says, "I have done some changes in this and then given it my name." So Jo Fang asks, "How did the design of my draft come to you?" She says, "You have not changed your email password, right?" Hearing this, Jo Fang is surprised. She says, "Zhe Yang logged into your email and downloaded all these copyrighted designs, and then he sold these designs to me." Hearing this, Jo Fang is surprised. And then that designer says, "I am ready to work with you." Knowing that Zhe Yang is still causing her loss, Jo Fang was worried. Then she changes her email password and informs the police. Then Jo Fang comes to a client to start her new project. After knowing about the project, that client says yes to take her order, then says, "You go home safely? It's about to rain." Jo Fang also says bye and leaves happily. At night, Song Lin was watching the news where he finds out that a truck accident has happened on the highway. Just then, his eyes fall on a car's license plate, seeing which he becomes worried because that number belonged to Jo Fang's car. He immediately reaches that place. There, it was raining very hard, and no one was giving permission to go forward, but still Song Lin remains adamant about going forcefully. Just then, his eyes fall on Jo Fang, who was safe and was looking at him. He quickly goes and hugs her. He brings Jo Fang home and makes soup. Jo Fang says, "You know, right, that I can make soup myself, so you should go home and rest." Anyway, it has become very late. On this, Song Lin does not say anything, and, keeping very serious, keeps doing his work. So Jo Fang comes and says lovingly, "Do you know that when someone is in anger, 47 muscles are used, but when you smile, only 17 muscles are used. Therefore, staying happy is better than being angry." On this also, he does not say anything, so Jo Fang goes close and says, "Will you stop being angry? Since you have come, you have done nothing except scolding me." So Song Lin says, "From that also, it did not make any difference to you." Then she says, "Then you can scold me more." So Song Lin says, "What do you think? Do I like doing all this? If you are in some problem, you can at least tell me once." Then he makes Jo Fang drink soup with his own hands. In the next scene, we see Jo Fang driving her car. Just then, she hears news in which it was being told. In these years, many new designers have come. Among these, on some designer's website, there are such clothes whose quality is very bad. Similarly, one customer who bought clothes from Misuse Company told that after wearing them, rashes have appeared. Such designers should be banned. Hearing this, Jo Fang is a little surprised. Just then, she gets a call from a reporter who says, "We want to take your interview. One customer of yours has shared problems related to your clothes' quality. They told that after wearing your cloth, they had an allergy. What would you like to say?" Hearing this, she becomes very worried and does not say anything. Jo Fang comes to her office, so her employee says, "Very many people have canceled their orders. They are asking for their refund." Jo Fang says, "Okay, return their refund. If they are having problems by wearing our clothes, then they should be stopped. And as far as our supplier is concerned, the factory is trying to contact them, but they can't be reached. I feel the supplier only has caused some problem. She asks, then what should we do? So Zhou Fang says, give their refund. We will clear this quickly. Do not worry much. Then Zhou Fang talks about this with Song Lin, so he says, I know how to handle this. You go home, do not worry. But Zhou Fang says, this is my fault. I should solve this. You do not try to cover for me. Song Lin says, yes, I know, but I have promised you that I will protect you. Saying this, he asks her to go home. On the other side, we see Song Lin's rival, Yu Shan. He is sitting with his wife, who says, these rumors of quality issues which have spread, all this you only have done, right? So he says, by doing so, there will be our profit. We can buy their shares at a low price, and then there will be no competitor of ours in the market. On this, his wife asks, can we take a long vacation after all these? So he says yes and gives a gift for her birthday. In the next scene, we see that to clear that matter, Zhou Fang has asked for forgiveness. She says, in the last few days, some of our customers told about quality issues. We are trying our full to investigate, but before results come, I want to ask for forgiveness because whatever be the result, the fault will be mine. And I hope that you people will give me a second chance in which I will take full care of my customers' happiness. Song Lin also is reading this. Just then, Yu Lin says, Zhou Fang, by doing so, has saved our reputation too. She is quite brave. So Song Lin says, what is the need for being brave? This is business, not a war. So Yu Lin says, if she had not said sorry today, then perhaps the person showing bravery would have been you. On the other side, we see Zhou Fang in her office. The employee says, did you find out about the supplier? You should file a case. So Zhou Fang says, Song Lin is trying to find out. If it was necessary, then we will file a case. That supplier should ask for forgiveness for all these because it is his fault. But the blame for all this is being put on us. Zhou Fang says, from now on, we will have to be even more alert. And also, we'll have to keep an eye on the progress of people working with us so that they complete all steps with responsibility. The employee says, starting a new brand is like raising a child. Coming across difficulties in our path is a normal thing. No brand is such which has not faced problems or has not made mistakes. Now, what is important is how we deal with it. Zhou Fang says, from these mistakes, I have learned this, that the process of coloring the clothes is the most important because mistakes happen the most there only. In the next scene, we see Zhou Fang in a business party where Yu Shan also has come. When he sees Zhou Fang, he says, hello, and then, praising her dress, says, its design is very good. Did you design it? So Zhou Fang says, laughing, yes, I did this myself. Then she asks, did you give us the order to customize the tuxedo? On this, he says, yes, now. Both of us are working together. She says happily, I do not know what you saw in this, due to which you became ready to work with us. On this, he says, you are a very talented designer, and I respect talent. They are talking. Just then, Song Lin arrives. Yu Shan says hello to Song Lin and asks to have a drink together, but he says, no, I am getting late. I have come here just to take Zhou Fang. Then, he starts taking Zhou Fang with him. She asks, you had said that you are not going to come? So he says, yes, I was not going to come, but I was getting worried for you. Then they come to another place where Zhou Fang says, Yushan wants to invest in my new project. What do you think? So Song Lin says, I respect your decision. On this, Zhou Fang says, then why are you looking so worried? He says, I am getting worried for you because you should stay a little separate from Yushan. Zhou Fang says, do not worry so much. I will take care of myself. Then she asks Song Lin, shall we dance? So he says, I do not know how to dance. But Zhou Fang, holding his hand, says, come, I will teach you. Then both dance for a while. The next day when Zhou Fang is working, just then Song Lin comes from behind and hugs her, so she asks, what happened? Why are you looking so happy today? He says, I was missing you. Seeing you now, I became happy. Zhou Fang says, oh, really? Song Lin says, yes, come, we go out somewhere. She says yes, but just then she gets Yushan's call who says, I am going to a dinner party. Will you come with me? Because I want you to meet someone there. Some actresses are also going to come. This will be a good chance for you to promote your clothing brand. Song Lin also hears. Therefore, he says, I have an important appointment. We will go somewhere later. Saying this, he leaves. Then Song Lin comes to a friend's shop. Seeing him, his friend asks, Song Lin, what are you doing here? So he says, can I not come here? This is my shop. On this, he says, no, I just asked because nowadays you have started staying too busy. Yet, you took out time to meet me today. Seeing this, I am a little surprised. On this, Song Lin does not speak. Just then, his friend notices he is a bit upset. Therefore, he asks, has a fight happened with your girlfriend? Or are you jealous of someone? Song Lin says, I am not jealous. but I am regretful that I gave Zhou Fang permission to work with Yushan. On this, his friend says, have both of them become close now? So Song Lin says, as colleagues, they are quite close, but Yushan gives her quite good ideas. On this, his friend says, this is a good thing. Why are you getting so jealous? Song Lin says, no, I am not getting jealous. On this, his friend says, now, admit it also. It is visible clearly from your face that you are jealous. You want to keep everything in your control, but Zhou Fang is out of your control. That is why you are feeling very uncomfortable. Song Lin says, it is not so. I just am feeling bad. I want to protect her, but she does not need it. You tell me, how will you feel if your girlfriend never asks any kind of help from you, does not trust you for anything? So, the friend says, if you like Zhou Fang and you respect her being independent, then you will have to accept her exactly as she is. Now, not everyone will be obedient like me, who obeys your every word. On this, Song Lin says with a smile, okay, so you are my obedient one. Come then, let's drink. On the other side, we see Zhou Fang with Yu Shan. There, two actresses praise her designs. At night when she comes home, Song Lin was waiting and then calls, but she does not receive his call because she had become very tired and falls asleep. Just then, Song Lin comes to her house. So Zhou Fang says, Yushan is taking me to a fashion week. On this, Song Lin says, okay, and lifting her in his arms takes her to her bedroom. On the second day, Song Lin arranges a dinner date where he has to wait a long time for Zhou Fang. Because she was busy, she arrived late. Song Lin had ordered all her favorite dishes. They start eating. So Song Lin says, I have to tell you something. Zhou Fang says, yes, tell me. But just then, some call comes on her phone, so she starts talking. After talking, when Song Lin is about to tell his thing again, just then again, a call of work comes. And such happens 2 or 3 times, on which Song Lin becomes angry and, without finishing dinner, pays the bill and leaves. In the way, Zhou Fang asks, are you angry with me? You know, right, that nowadays I stay a bit too busy, because I am having to handle very many things alone. On this, Song Lin says, yes, I understand. Nothing is more important than work. Zhou Fang says, your lifestyle also is of this kind only. You can understand all this, therefore you should not be angry. So Song Lin says, I understand all this, but do you not know about time management? You are the boss of your work, so why are you doing every small and big task yourself too? These tasks should be handled by your team. You just have to take the right decision at the right time. On this, she says a little angrily, the people who are in my team, they are new yet. And stop comparing my team's people with your professional team's people. So Song Lin says, if your team is not able to handle even such small tasks, then it means that you have not selected the right people. On this, she says angrily, what do you want to say that the fault is mine? Song Lin says, I am just saying this, that you are a good designer, but your manager is not right. Both keep arguing and then, being angry, come to their respective homes. Next day, Song Lin is in a meeting where he tells about his new app. He says, that app has become ready. After launching it, you people have to promote the app well so that we can attract more and more online users. After this, Song Lin goes to the village to meet his grandma. Zhou Fang finds out about this from Yu Lin. She is a little angry that Song Lin did not tell her. After Song Lin's return, as soon as he reaches his company, his investor asks, has your US visa expired? He says, no, not yet. But why are you asking? So she says, right now, it is difficult to explain everything. I have booked 2 tickets to the US. We have to leave right now. So Song Lin stops her and says, wait, tell me, why do we have to go to the US suddenly? On this, she says, do you want funding or not? I have called very many companies in the US and we have to meet them in 2 days. This is our last option from where we can get funding. Now, you decide whether you want to go or not. Saying this, she leaves. After some time, Zhou Fang comes to meet Song Lin, so Yu Lin says, he has gone to the US right now with his investor. I feel they had some urgent work. Did he not tell you? So she says, no matter, I have to leave. Saying this, she leaves. She is about to reach home. Just then, she meets 2 people from whom Zhou Fang finds out that Song Lin is selling his apartment. Hearing this, she is very surprised. Then she messages Song Lin and asks, why did you not tell me that you are going to the US? And why are you selling your apartment? Song Lin messages her and says, it was necessary. I did not have time to tell you. I will tell after coming back. Do not be angry. After coming back, Song Lin tells Zhou Fang about his work. Everything happened very nicely. On this, she says a little angrily, I know you do not like to tell me about your work, but at least tell me this. What is all this going on? I want to know when, where, with whom are you going? Being your girlfriend, I have the right to know. That day when I went to your office, I found out from Yu Lin that you have gone to the US. Do you have any idea how I would have felt? Song Lin says, can we go inside and talk? It is getting very cold here. On this, she stops him and says, Song Lin, if you keep ignoring my feelings in this way, then I am saying truly that our relationship will not be able to last for many more days. Saying this, Zhou Fang leaves, being very upset. Song Lin is standing there. Just then, he gets a call from his grandma who asks him to come to the village again this weekend. Here we see Zhou Fang sitting with Qin Qing and telling her everything. Hearing her words, Qin Qing says, "If you had told me these things earlier, then I would have been very much angry with Song Lin. But now the matter is different. I feel that even though we love each other, it is difficult for us to always stay together. Therefore, when we have some problem, first of all, we should become calm." So Zhou Fang says, I am not troubled by this thing that he went somewhere with someone else. I just felt bad about this thing, that he did not even think it necessary to tell me. If on that day I had not gone to his office, I would not have known. He nowadays is doing this kind of behavior, whether it is a matter of work or his personal matter, he does not share anything with me. Qin Qing explains, if both of you kept doing such behavior with each other, then the distance between you will increase even more. He perhaps might not have told you because he does not want to disturb you. Zhou Fang says, but being his girlfriend, I want to share his burden, his problems. On this, Qin Qing says, then do it. See, where is he? Call him. Just then, Zhou Fang gets Song Lin's message who tells her that he has gone to his grandma's village. She tells Qin Qing, so she says, you also should go there. Then we see Song Lin who is getting work done in the field with his grandma. Just then, Zhou Fang arrives. She first meets his grandma and then goes to him. He becomes quite happy, then both sit and talk. Song Lin says, I used to play right here in my childhood. I feel very good here. Zhou Fang asks about his grandma, so he says, she stays here alone. Our relatives take care of her. I asked her many times to come with me, but she does not want to leave the fresh air and peace. Zhou Fang says, yes, old people like to live in the village. Then she says, sorry, and says, last time, due to being more busy, I ignored your feelings. So Song Lin says, there's no need to say sorry. We both are facing the same situation. Fight happened because we sometimes think too much. Then Song Lin makes her meet his grandma. So Zhou Fang is surprised and says, she only had told me about you. Grandma also is quite happy, and then all three sit and eat. The next day, both leave. In the next scene, we see Song Lin going with Yu Lin to meet a client. Just then, he notices Yu Lin's watch. He praises it. So Yu Lin says, do you remember Zhou Fang and Qin Qing had gone to Italy? Qin Qing brought this watch from there. Did Zhou Fang also bring something for you? She had not brought anything, but still. Song Lin says, yes, she brought something for me. So, Yu Lin asks, what did she bring for you? Song Lin says, how does it make a difference to you? Do you want to do some competition with me? Hearing this, poor Yu Lin becomes silent. After coming from there, Song Lin goes to Zhou Fang and asks, how did you like Italy? Was everything okay? So, she says, yes, everything was okay. Song Lin again asks, you must have done shopping also there? So Zhou Fang says, yes, I did. I bought some clothes, bag, shoes, and makeup. Hearing this, Song Lin says, wow, you did a lot of shopping. And did you see men's clothes there? Actually, he wanted to ask if she brought something for him, but he was not able to ask directly, and Zhou Fang also was not telling him correctly. On his question, she says, I do not see boys' clothes. I am a lady, right? I do shopping in the ladies' section. Song Lin, being upset, says, yes, this also is okay. Why would you do shopping for boys? In the next scene, we see Zhou Fang with Qin Qing. Qin Qing shows her a diamond and asks, how is this? Zhou Fang says, this is very good. So Qin Qing asks, if you take the decision to marry right now, then will you let me design your wedding ring? So she says, yes, of course I will let you. Qin Qing then asks, have you ever thought, how should your wedding ring's design be? So Zhou Fang looks toward a paper in which Qin Qing had already made sketches. She selects among those and tells her. Then she brings Song Lin to her house. Song Lin talks very nicely with her mom, due to which she also is a little happy. Then he does cooking. Just then, Dad comes and says, you come here every day because I have become bored by reading these books. I have to play these games, but there is no opponent. I do not feel good like this. He wanted Song Lin to play, but he says, sorry, I am busy right now. But Dad says, come, we will play just one round. But Mom stops them and says, what is this you are doing? You cannot take him. Song Lin has promised us that he will cook. So, Dad says, how much you have changed. Earlier you did not like him, and now you are fighting for him. So, Mom says, where am I fighting? If you want, you can ask Song Lin only what he wants to do first. Mom asks Song Lin, do you want to play a game with him? Or do you want to cook with us? He did not want to hurt either, therefore says, I can do both, but sorry, Uncle, I cook first. We people will play after eating. Hearing this, Mom becomes happy and Dad says, okay. Then we see Qin Qing and Yu Lin. Qin Qing had planned a date at home, which she had already decorated very nicely, and Yu Lin likes it. He asks, have you made all this yourself? So she says, yes, I have made it myself. Yulin says, thank you, and says, you did so much for me. Qingqing says, no need to say thank you. We were not getting time, so I thought the date should be made romantic at home. Then she asks, Yulin, is marriage life the same for everyone? Ours is a bit ordinary, but still, we are happy. So Yulin says, it is not the same. We are not like everyone. I am happy because I have married you. Hearing this, she is happy and shows Yulin a ring. He asks, have you designed this yourself? On this, she says, yes. Then Yulin says, sorry, I did not have time to plan a surprise. So Qingqing says, no matter, I just want you. Then Qingqing says, before meeting you, I had never thought about marrying. But now the matter is different. Sitting at home or traveling, if you are with me, then it feels that all these things have some meaning. Yulin says, you give your hand here. She gives her hand and Yulin makes her wear the ring and says, thank you for marrying me. I promise that I will always keep you happy, will trust you, will protect you, and will always stay with you. In the next scene, we see Zhou Fang, who is making juice, and Qingqing is showing her wedding ring repeatedly. On this, Zhou Fang says, now odd, you stop showing off. You have shown this to me more than 100 times. Now I have become bored. So Qingqing says, how can you be bored? This is not just a ring, this is a sign of my love. So Zhou Fang says, since you have married Yulin, you have become very dramatic. So she says, so what happened? Are you getting jealous? Zhou Fang says, are you not going on your honeymoon? What are you doing here until now? So Qingqing says, yes, I remembered. I have to go on a honeymoon too, but right now I have not made any plan. You do some help. Tell me where we should go. Zhou Fang says, do you really want me to help? You have traveled to almost 40 countries. You yourself would know which place is best. Is there any such place where you want to go? She says, yes, I have gone to many places, but I am going with my husband for the first time. Zhou Fang says, I do not think the destination matters. Wherever you both go, seeing you, Yulin will be happy, and seeing him, you will be happy. So, she says, showing a bit of attitude, yes, because he loves me very much. Whatever I do, he supports me. So Zhou Fang says, I am feeling bad for Yulin. She asks, why are you feeling bad for him? And stop all these talks. Tell me this. Where should I go? Zhou Fang says, I have no idea, but I feel that you people do not need to go out. For you, only a hotel room with a good view will do. On this, Qingqing gets irritation and gives her a push, so Zhou Fang also gives her a push. Like this, they both start fighting. In the next scene, we see Songlin standing at a seaside site. Just then, Zhou Fang arrives, so Songlin says, how did you know that I will be found here? Zhou Fang says, whenever you achieve something big, you come right here. Actually, the app which Songlin launched remained successful. Both talk. Then Songlin asks, do you feel insecure when you are with me? So she says, no, with you I feel safe. Songlin says, yakto, this is a very good thing. Then Zhou Fang asks, do you know which thing of yours I like the most? On this, he says, being proud, yes, because I am very handsome. So Zhou Fang starts laughing and says, yes, handsome you are anyway, but it is not only this much. Whenever you make some promise, you complete it. You always used to say that I do not need to worry because you will protect me. From that moment until now, I feel like I am some superwoman. Because of you, I was able to focus on my dreams very well, without any worry and without any fear. Hearing all this, Songlin says, did this not become a bit too much? So she says, no, I am just telling the truth. Songlin says, all this happened because you did very much hard work. Sometimes I feel as if I have nothing to give you. So Zhou Fang says, why do you always want to give me something? You already have given me quite much. Songlin says, seeing you, I feel that I have found my soulmate. So Zhou Fang says, then why have you not proposed to me until now? Then she catches his hand, and she herself only proposes and says, Songlin, will you marry me? So, he says laughing, these are my lines. Then Songlin says, I had lost my parents in my childhood. I had just one sister, who always used to keep creating problems. I really had no life, but my career was going very well. Tell the truth, I used to feel that I am working like just a machine without any emotions. Then I met you and I fell in love. And then I understood the meaning of life. Choosing you and staying with you was really the best decision. I have kept this ring for a long time. I was not understanding what I should say to you. Then he kneels down and proposes marriage, seeing which she becomes emotional and saying, yes, stretches her hand toward him, and Songlin makes her wear the ring. In the next scene, we see Qing and Yulin in a bar. Zhou Fang also is there, cutting fruits. Just then, Songlin's friend starts clicking photos. Let me click their photo. These have been cut by our famous designer, Zhou Fang. I will post this on my social media. Hearing this, she starts laughing. His friend says, "You are going to win an international award soon. That is why I am praising you so much." Just then, Songlin arrives, hugs Zhou Fang, and says to his friend, "Stop troubling my wife. You do not have the right to praise her." Saying this, he kisses Zhou Fang. Just then, Qing says, "You both go somewhere else. You are spoiling our moment." Then Qing says, "I and Yulin are going on honeymoon. Therefore, we want a long vacation. Do you have any problem?" Songlin says, "No, I do not have any problem. Anyway, how many days do you want?" Yulin says, 1 month. So Qing says, "No, 1 month is very little." Yulin says, "Will 6 months be okay?" Songlin asks, "Will 6 months be enough?" So Qing says, "Give us 1 year, or else 5 years." So Songlin says, "Do one thing. You people go and settle right there. There's no need for you to come back." On this, Qing says, "Yes. Okay, just you keep sending us money." Song Luo and Cynthia also arrive. Seeing them, Songlin and Zhou Fang are surprised and ask, "When did you both come back? Why did you not tell us?" So Song Luo says, "I heard that you people are quite busy. That is why we have come to give you a surprise. We have come here so that we can attend your wedding." Then they all enjoy their party, and next day, Songlin takes Zhou Fang, Song Luo, and Cynthia to his grandma's village. Grandma becomes very happy. They sit and talk where Song Luo tells Grandma, "Do you know how strange Songlin is? He used to stay standing on the balcony every day and used to keep staring at her from Zhou Fang's window." On this, he says, "Stop making stories. I never did such." She says, "No, I saw you doing such with my own eyes." Grandma, you do not believe his words. Zhou Fang also says, "Oh no, Grandma, there is nothing like such." Just then, Cynthia says, "Aunt, you also do not act as if you're innocent. Do I not know? You also used to do the same every day." Zhou Fang speaks to him to stay quiet. Just then, Song Luo says, "Did you hear? Both of these are very strange." Then at night, Song Lin and Zhou Fang are seeing stars. Zhou Fang says, "I will get a big chair made, and then after dinner we both will sit together at night and see stars and bask in the sun. It will be good, right?" So Songlin says, "How can we bask in the sun while seeing stars?" So she says, we will see stars at night and bask in the sun in the day." Then they both start talking about taking their business further. We can add chair, table, sofa, and other things also along with cloth in our app, from which it can attract more and more customers. Zhou Fang says, "You can make many different sections." Talking like this, they both sleep right there. Next day, the wedding ceremony happens where Yulin and Qing are waiting. Why have those both not come yet? Qing says, "Zhou Fang was in the wedding room just now, then don't know where she disappeared." Yulin says, "Yes. Songlin also said that I have to go to the bathroom, and he also disappeared." She says, "Where did these both disappear at such an important time? Come, let us go and search." Just then the gate opens, and Songlin comes on his motorcycle carrying Zhou Fang, seeing which everyone is surprised. Then Songlin says, "I know you all must be thinking this, why I brought Zhou Fang here by bike. It is because when Zhou Fang met me for the first time, I was on the bike only." Then Songlin lets them hear their love story, and then both make each other wear the ring and kiss. In the next scene, we see Yulin and Qing going on their honeymoon. Songlin and Zhou Fang have come to see them off. Zhou Fang says, "Enjoy well there and take care of each other." Yulin, if Songlin calls you for work, then ignore him. On this, he says to Songlin, "Songlin, did you hear what order the boss gave?" He says yes. Last scene, we see Songlin and Zhou Fang stop during a bike ride at that same place where they had met for the first time. Songlin asks, "Do you remember this place?" So Zhou Fang says, "Of course I remember. You almost killed me here only." So he says, "Do you remember only this much?" Zhou Fang says, "Yes. If you had killed me here that day, today, you would not have a wife." Songlin makes her a little close and says, "Time passes so quickly, right?" Zhou Fang says, "Yes, a full 1 year has happened. We faced many things in between. For this, thank you." He says, "Thank you for what?" So Zhou Fang says, "For tolerating me for so much time." So Songlin also says, "Thank you." Zhou Fang asks, "For what?" Songlin says, "For taking me out from that boring life and for giving me so much love. If I had not met you, I would have kept doing only work like a robot until my last breath. Therefore, thank you for giving me a loving family." Zhou Fang says, "Do you not feel that something is missing yet?" He asks, "What is missing?" On this, Zhou Fang says, "I am pregnant. You are going to become a father." Hearing this, Songlin becomes very happy and hugs her. Then he says, being excited, "Have you thought of its name?" And then starts telling some strange names, hearing which Zhou Fang laughs. Last, Zhou Fong says, everyone is the writer of their own story. On arriving at the right place and right time, you will find that person who will be made for you. And when you find them, your journey will become even better, because then you will have such a person with whom you can share your journey. And right here happens the happy ending.